She walked into the store with torn shoes and a quiet smile. The staff laughed behind her back. One even whispered, "She's probably lost." But the next day, she came back, and this time they were the ones who were speechless. This is the story of how dignity always wins. It was a sunny afternoon in New York City. A woman, about 70 years old, walked into a luxury boutique on Madison Avenue. Her coat was old, her hair a little messy. She carried a small handbag. She looked around, eyes full of wonder, as she gently touched the edge of a $4,000 designer dress. Saleswoman, "Ma'am, those dresses aren't for display. They're for serious buyers." She smiled politely. "I was just admiring the work. It's beautiful." The staff laughed softly. "She must think this is a museum," one of them whispered. The woman nodded, apologized, and slowly walked out. They didn't even say goodbye. What they didn't know? That woman, Margaret Dawson, wasn't poor. She was the widow of Richard Dawson, a quiet billionaire who had passed just 6 months earlier. She lived in a modest apartment, still wore the clothes she bought 20 years ago, and she never liked showing off. But that day, Margaret had decided to buy herself something special. Her husband had always told her, "One day, buy whatever your heart desires. You deserve that." So she walked into the boutique and walked out humiliated. The next morning, a black limo pulled up in front of the same store. A suited man stepped out first, followed by 2 bodyguards. Then Margaret. But this time, she wasn't alone. Her financial advisor, her attorney, and her personal assistant were with her. She walked in calmly. The same saleswoman turned pale. Saleswoman, nervous. "Good morning, ma'am. Welcome back." Margaret, "Is your manager available?" The manager rushed out. Margaret looked her straight in the eye and said, "Yesterday, your staff judged me because of my clothes. Today, I'm here to make a purchase, but not from them." Margaret pointed to a young intern in the corner. She was the only one who had smiled at her the day before. "Margaret, I want her to help me." The intern stepped forward, confused. Margaret smiled and said, "I'm buying 3 dresses. One for myself, one for my granddaughter, and one for you." Tears filled the intern's eyes. Margaret then wrote a check, $50,000. And as she turned to leave, she looked at the saleswoman one last time. "Margaret, never forget. Dignity can't be worn. It's lived." The store was silent. People often forget that appearances can be deceiving. The quiet woman, the tired man, the kid with old shoes, they might carry more value, more kindness, and more strength than anyone else in the room. Next time you see someone who looks different, treat them with respect, because one day they just might come back with a lesson you'll never forget.